In this video I want to talk about perspective. For this I have prepared this drawing for better visualization. This is supposed to represent an alley with street lamps from the side and from above. We also have a look through the eyes of the stick figure at the left side standing in front of the alley. His name is Rüdiger. Rüdiger is now looking at the first pair of streetlights. Please note the angles from Rüdiger's eyes to the edges of the lights. Below we can see how this looks from Rüdiger's perspective. Now Rüdiger is looking at the second pair of streetlights. When we pay attention to the angles again, we see that the angle to the top of the light comes down, while the angle to the foot of the light comes up compared to the previous pair. From above we also can see that the angle between the pair of lights gets narrower compared to the previous pair of lights. From Rüdiger's perspective, we can observe exactly that. The street lamps appear lower at top, higher at ground, and narrower at the lights, which are closer. They also appear smaller. With the third pair of street lights, we see how this trend continues. Noticeable is that the angles change not that much like before, which results that these changes for lights becoming lower at top, higher at ground, narrower and smaller also gets lesser for each counting pair of street lamps Rüdiger looks at. Because the street lamps are linear aligned both from the side view and from the top view, they also are linear aligned from Rüdiger's perspective. From Rüdiger's perspective, these lines end in a point which is called vanishing point. The more distant the streetlights are, the closer they appear to this point. However, it doesn't matter if we look at it from the side, from above, or Rüdiger's perspective. They all are equally right. Even when the more distant lamps appear lower from Rüdiger's perspective, he looks at the true physical location of this lamp. The angle of his look is exactly the same in all three views, and there is no such thing as a non-physical angle of linear perspective. An honorable mention goes out to all the people who made up their own kind of perspective, to refuse all kind of measurements with angles occluded and ignore such obvious things like more distant objects appear smaller and move at lower pace for the explanation of certain observations. Keep up your good research and stay honest. Goodbye.